Another Yakkin with YaJagoff segment, and we are in Sharpsburg at yet another brewery. We're at the Dancing Gnome Brewery, right?
That's
right?
right.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.
Right? Yeah. I'm missing. Oh my God. I'm missing that. This is the Dancing Gnome Brewery, and thanks to them for letting us hang out smelling beer and all that kind of stuff. And this is a good thing to go home and smelling like beer, right? Our guests are Debbie and Joe, and they are in charge of this thing to get, yes, a beer museum here in Pittsburgh, like an international beer museum. Are you kidding me? So, Debbie, what is going on here?
Well, it's going to be an awesome place to come visit, whether you are from out of town or Pittsburgh itself, because it'll be about 50,000 square feet. It will have a 300-seat restaurant with rotating taps and breweries.
It sounds like heaven, actually.
It sounds like beer heaven to me.
Now, Joe, you're in charge of this thing, right? So you started a fundraising page some time ago, and we're getting close.
Yeah, we're live on Indiegogo. Got a few days left to go. We'd like to get people out there. Brew Museum of Beer on Indiegogo. This is a ground roots effort. We need everybody behind it to make it happen.
So is this one of those projects, Debbie, where we say, no, we started drinking and one thing led to another, and...
That's a good question, John. Actually, so several years back, I became interested in craft beer thanks to my husband. We go to craft beer school downtown every month at the Cabaret Theater. And then I joined a great group of women called Pittsburgh Beer Ladies. There's over 1,000 of us on Facebook. And we do events at breweries and brew pubs every month, or post interesting articles, or post stuff about brew. Joe happens to be a personal friend of mine along with his wife. And he told me about an idea a few years ago, and when it hit the press on August 29th, I think, in the Post-Gazette, I'm like, I'm on board. And now I basically live, breathe, and eat Brew Museum.
There you go. How much interest have you had from just even outside of Pittsburgh?
Well, we've had articles in Forbes magazine, Boston Herald, business journals across the country. We actually saw an article in a French publication.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So I'd say
Don't know what it said, but...
So since it's going to be a beer museum, Joe, will it have a side kind of a little room for like, appetizers like nachos and stuff like that?
I think we'll cover that in the restaurant.
Okay. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Will it have a tailgate wing, like where we can all go out and play loud music and get stupid?
Tailgating. Now that's an interesting concept. We'll have to review that and get back to you.
Cool. Will there be a part in the beer museum where it's dedicated to like Uncle Stush's beer gut walking around Kennywood? Would that be a possibility?
I haven't thought about that one.
I think it'd be a good one. It's going to be in Pittsburgh and all that kind of stuff. But tell everybody about how important it is to get their donation in and where to go to do that.
Yeah, what we're going to get from Indiegogo is a fraction of what we need. This is a grand museum. We're talking about maybe a $25 million project here.
Wow.
But everybody's involvement makes a difference. It really does, in terms of going to investors and saying, people want to see this happen. People are behind this. So that's what we need.
We're not just looking for donations. We're looking to tap the
nice.
online community for input and suggestions. And then the other cool thing I wanted to mention for Pittsburghers is under Brew Stuff on brewmuseum.com is an interactive map of all the breweries, whether they're in business or in development, from here all the way down to Washington, PA. And you click on it and you can Google your way through all the breweries.
What kind of good stuff is going to be inside the museum, Joe?
Yeah, well, there are these stories. We know that beer is tied to the origins of civilization, right? And I think that's an interesting story. Some people know it, some people don't. That the only reason why we stopped wandering around doing that hunter-gatherer thing was to make barley and brew beer. And everything comes from that. So that's an interesting story, right? That we started learning how to grow crops, and mathematics and reading and commerce all came from that. We know that the pyramid workers were paid in beer.
Is that right?
Yeah. There's a story all the way through. We're just past Thanksgiving now. The reason that the Pilgrims landed in Plymouth Rock was because the crew was running out of beer, and they said, "You guys get off here, and the rest of the beer's for us."
Yeah.
Otherwise, they would have gone down to Virginia like they originally planned. So you pick a point in time. There's an interesting beer story that's intricately related to it. We want to tell all those stories, and we want to tell about where beer is at today. The amazing diversity of beer today. The 5,000 breweries in the country now. We've just hit the 5,000 mark recently. It's an incredible story.
Stories? Joe, Debbie, I have a ton of beer stories. Like this one time when I was in college, oh my God, we had this case of beer, it was Black Label, and oh my God. It was,
You know what, Joe? I think we're done.
Yeah.
with YaJagoff.